Hi, wonderful people. Welcome back to my channel. This is your sister, Jeanette. I hope everyone is doing good. I send my greeting or I greet everyone who is watching me today. Wherever you are watching me from, you are highly welcome and hi to all of you. In today's video, I want to discuss Roman chapter 12. I have been reading this chapter, this verse for a while, for a very long time. It was like I was understanding it in another way, but lately when I read it again, the Lord asked me to stop, and the Lord was making me to understand something I was reading very wrong. So it's Romans chapter 12. It says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. I beseech you, I read again, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. The truth is that I have been reading this verse, but I was understanding it as if the Bible is saying, present your body as a living sacrifice, not really a living sacrifice. You know, I was reading it in a way like, present your body as a living sacrifice. And the Lord asked me to stop there, that it's not actually as a living, it's a living sacrifice. You know, when we see it as being as a living, it means actually, it's not really a living sacrifice. It's just it's just like, it's just like a metaphor or a simile. Something is like, it's not actually it. You understand? So God was saying, like, it's not us. Your body is not us, because if I present my body as a living sacrifice, it means it's just in a resemblance of, in a likeness of, but not actually a living sacrifice. You know, now I understood it in a rightful way. My body, I should present it to God. I should present it to God, a living sacrifice, not us. You know, when we try to go through the chapter, when the animals were being presented to God as sacrifice, we know the kind of sacrifice of animals that were being presented. They were blemish, they were white, they were not lame animals. They were animals that were in good shape, that were being presented to God. You couldn't have brought a lame animal to God, maybe an animal that has only one leg, or one, or has no eyes, or was like, or animals that were having different colors. These were not acceptable. What was acceptable were without blemish, without lame animals that were not sick. Those were the animals that were being presented. And Jesus, when we see Jesus that was presented to God, a living sacrifice, he presented himself. He was without sin. He was blameless in all that could have been said about him. He was blameless. And he was the pure sacrifice that could have been given to God. You understand? So now we, as children of God, being born through Jesus Christ, the Bible admonishes us to present our bodies a living sacrifice, not as a living sacrifice acceptable to God. So that is why we have to understand we have a huge part to play, a big assignment, because our bodies are living sacrifice. We have to be acceptable to God every time, every moment, because we don't have a particular time we go to God. God lives with us. He lives with us every minute, every second. And that is why we must understand our bodies, which is the temple of God, is a living sacrifice which is being given to God and which must be, which must be acceptable. So if we take it like our bodies should be as we should, what we're saying, if we think like we should present our bodies as a living sacrifice, it will just be like in a likeness of a sacrifice, but not really it. But it's not a metaphor or a simile. It's the exact thing which should be or how it should be. It is not in a likeness of a sacrifice. No, we have to understand our bodies should be presented to God a living sacrifice, not as a. This is the little mistake I was having, and which make me to understand it in a wrong way. My body should be presented a living sacrifice. So me, myself, my body is a living sacrifice to offer to the Lord. It's not as not in a likeness. So this is what the Lord make me to understand the little mistake I was having. And when I was reading this chapter, or when it's even like when it was being read, this is what I was understanding, or my mind made me to understand before. I should present my body as a living sacrifice. But the Lord put a comma to understand it is not as, it is a living sacrifice. So I should understand it is something, my body is so precious before God. I cannot present a decayed or a rotten body, because rotten and decay through sin, through what I do with it. It is a holy body. It is the temple where the Holy Spirit lives. And he says, which is your reasonable sacrifice. So this is the sacrifice which we Christians, we can give to God. Not too much prayer, not singing in the choir. The reasonable sacrifice every Christian can give to his God is to present our body a living sacrifice. This is the reasonable, which is our reasonable service. So I just want to exhort us, all of us, for us to understand that our bodies are living sacrifice. We should present our bodies a living sacrifice to God, not like in the likeness of a sacrifice, not like not in the characteristics of a sacrifice, but it's a sacrifice which we are given to God. So I just pray that the Lord will help us. The Lord will give us the strength. His Spirit will equip us. He will teach us. He will guide us in a way that our bodies shall be acceptable to Him. May the Lord bless you as you keep struggling with yourself, as you keep trying by your own power to stop certain things, to raise a standard for God. Let the Holy Spirit equip you. Let the Holy Spirit be with you and guide you and gives you the strength to do all that you have to do for God, so that your body should not be offered for sin, should not be an offering for sin that we give to all sort of abomination, all sort of sinful lust, but that we will keep our bodies to the glory of God. May the Lord bless you. May He keep being with you. And thank you for watching today. Till we meet again next time. Bye-bye.